Have you ever felt like you had to chase love? That if you just did a little more, gave a little extra, you'd finally be valued and cherished? But what if I told you that true love, real, deep, and lasting, can never be forced? That the more you chase, the more it slips away. Today we explore the art of not forcing love, rooted in the wisdom of Stoicism. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, taught us that peace and happiness come from within, not from external validation. They believed that attachment to things outside our control leads to suffering. Love is no different. The more we beg for it, the less we respect ourselves. The more we force it, the less it thrives. Instead of asking, how do I make them love me? Ask, how do I become the best version of myself? Love is drawn to strength, confidence, and purpose, not desperation. Detaching from the outcome, prioritizing self-growth, and living with inner peace help us attract love naturally. Stop chasing, focus on self-improvement, and enjoy life without seeking validation. For the next 7 days, practice emotional independence and observe how people respond to your presence. If you found this video valuable, like and subscribe. Have you ever stopped chasing love and found it came naturally? Share your story in the comments. Let's get started. Number 1, self-respect in relationships, the core of true connection. Self-respect in relationships is like the roots of a tree, deep, strong, and essential for growth. Without it, the relationship wavers like a leaf in the wind, vulnerable to control and dependency. When both partners respect themselves, love flows freely, untainted by fear or insecurity. As the Stoics teach, true strength comes from within. A relationship should complement one's peace, not disrupt it. Love should never be begged for. It should be given and received in harmony, built on dignity, wisdom, and shared growth. Self-respect is the foundation upon which all healthy relationships are built. It serves as a guiding principle that ensures balance, mutual appreciation, and emotional resilience. Without self-respect, relationships can quickly become unbalanced, leading to dependency, insecurity, and emotional distress. True connection flourishes when both individuals recognize their intrinsic worth and engage in a bond that is rooted in dignity and self-awareness. Ava always believed love meant sacrifice, so she gave endlessly, her time, her dreams, even her self-worth. But when Noah started taking her kindness for granted, she felt empty, unheard. One evening, as she sat alone, a quote from Marcus Aurelius echoed in her mind. "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realizing love should never cost her self-respect, Ava walked away. Months later, she found a love that honored her boundaries, proving that true connection begins with valuing oneself first. In relationships, self-respect fosters mutual respect. When individuals value themselves, they naturally set boundaries that prevent emotional manipulation and exploitation. They communicate their needs with clarity and expect the same consideration in return. This mutual understanding cultivates an atmosphere where love can thrive without the constraints of control or fear. Stoic philosophy teaches that external circumstances, including relationships, should not dictate inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius once noted, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom reminds us that a relationship should enhance our well-being, not compromise it. Emotional resilience is essential in maintaining self-respect. It allows individuals to give love freely without losing themselves in the process. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of temperance, maintaining balance in giving and receiving. Love should be an exchange of trust and growth, not an act of sacrifice that diminishes one's identity. Those who respect themselves do not beg for affection, nor do they tolerate relationships that consistently undermine their values. They recognize when a relationship no longer aligns with their growth and have the strength to walk away with grace. Seeking deep connections requires wisdom, patience, and a commitment to shared growth. A relationship built on self-respect is not driven by fleeting emotions, but by a profound understanding of each other's values and aspirations. It thrives on honesty, open communication, and the ability to support each other's individual journeys. In contrast, relationships based on insecurity or desperation often lead to resentment and unfulfilled expectations. Love is a reflection of self-worth. It should never be forced or begged for, as genuine affection arises from mutual recognition and respect. When individuals uphold their self-respect, they attract relationships that honor their dignity and enrich their lives. In this way, love becomes not just an emotional attachment, but a meaningful connection built on strength, authenticity, and unwavering self-value. Number 2, the truth about love at first sight, attraction versus deep connection. Love at first sight is a captivating idea, one that suggests an immediate and profound bond between two people upon first meeting. However, psychology and philosophy reveal that what we often call love at first sight is more accurately a surge of attraction rather than a deep emotional connection. While instant chemistry can be powerful, it is often mistaken for love, which requires time, understanding, and mutual growth. Love at first sight is often mistaken for true love, but in reality, it is attraction, a fleeting rush driven by biology and perception. Psychology shows that initial chemistry is based on physical cues and emotions, while Stoic philosophy teaches that real love is built on patience, mutual understanding, and shared growth. Attraction is instant, but deep connection takes time. True love is not found in a glance. It is cultivated through commitment, trust, and emotional depth. Attraction is largely driven by biological and psychological factors. According to research in psychology, initial attraction is often influenced by physical appearance, body language, and subconscious cues such as symmetry and pheromones. The brain releases dopamine and oxytocin, creating a euphoric feeling similar to infatuation. However, this initial rush is fleeting. It is an emotional response based on perception rather than a true understanding of the other person's values, character, or emotional depth. In contrast, deep connection is built over time through shared experiences, trust, and emotional vulnerability. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, emphasize that true love is rooted in reason, patience, and mutual respect rather than fleeting passion. They warn against being enslaved by emotions, encouraging individuals to seek wisdom and temperance in relationships. Love in this philosophical sense is not about an uncontrollable force, but about a conscious choice to nurture and sustain a meaningful bond. The key difference between attraction and love lies in their longevity and depth. Attraction is immediate and often superficial, driven by external factors that may change over time. True love, however, develops through adversity, shared goals, and mutual effort. It requires patience, communication, and emotional resilience, qualities that cannot be assessed in a single glance. While attraction may spark interest, it is the sustained effort of two individuals that transforms it into something lasting. Real love is not found in a single moment, but cultivated over time through commitment, understanding, and personal growth. In the end, love at first sight may be an illusion, but love built on depth and connection is the ultimate reality. Number 3, turning rejection into strength, a Stoic approach to self-worth. Rejection is often seen as a painful setback, but from a Stoic perspective, it is a catalyst for self-growth and resilience. Instead of measuring our worth by how others perceive us, we can view rejection as an opportunity to strengthen our inner character. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, remind us that external events do not define us. Our reactions to them do. Take Daniel, for example, a young man who had always sought approval from others, especially in romantic relationships. He spent years bending over backward to make his partner happy, believing that his self-worth depended on being loved and accepted. However, despite his efforts, his relationship ended abruptly, leaving him devastated and questioning his value. At first, Daniel allowed the rejection to consume him. He blamed himself, overanalyzed every interaction, and felt unworthy of love. But one day he came across Stoic teachings and began to reflect on his situation. He realized that his worth was not defined by another person's acceptance, but by his own character and resilience. Instead of dwelling on his pain, Daniel decided to focus on self-improvement. He started reading philosophy, practicing mindfulness, and setting personal goals. He pursued hobbies he had neglected and surrounded himself with supportive friends and family. Over time, he found fulfillment not in external validation, but in the strength he cultivated within. Rejection, Daniel learned, was not an indication of his inadequacy, but a redirection towards something better. It forced him to build emotional resilience, develop self-respect, and recognize that true happiness comes from within. Through Daniel's journey, we see that rejection can be a turning point rather than an endpoint. When we detach from the need for external validation, we free ourselves from the emotional turbulence of rejection. True self-worth is not found in the acceptance of others, but in the resilience, wisdom, and strength we cultivate within ourselves. Stoicism teaches that by accepting what we cannot control and focusing on self-improvement, we can transform rejection into an opportunity for growth. The key is to see rejection not as a loss, but as a chance to rebuild ourselves stronger than before. With this mindset, we can navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace, ensuring that our self-worth remains unshaken no matter the circumstances. Furthermore, rejection often reveals what is not meant for us. Whether it is in relationships, career paths, or social circles, being turned away can protect us from investing in places that do not align with our true potential. A closed door is not a sign of inadequacy. It is a sign that we are being redirected towards something more fitting and fulfilling. When we adopt this mindset, rejection loses its sting, transforming from a source of pain into a stepping stone for growth. Rejection does not diminish us, it refines us. True self-worth is not found in the acceptance of others, but in the resilience, wisdom, and strength we cultivate within ourselves. By embracing rejection as a necessary part of life, we can move forward with greater confidence, knowing that our value remains intact regardless of external circumstances. Number 4, letting go of idealized love, seeing people as they truly are. Have you ever found yourself disappointed in love because reality did not match your expectations? Many of us enter relationships with an idealized vision of our partners, expecting perfection where none exists. However, true love is not about finding a flawless person. It is about seeing and accepting someone as they truly are. Idealized love often leads to unrealistic expectations, causing us to overlook the natural imperfections that make each person unique. When we expect our partner to always understand us, never make mistakes, or meet all our emotional needs, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Over time, these unrealistic expectations can strain relationships, leading to resentment, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. Take Daniel, for example, a man who grew up believing in the fairy tale version of love. He longed for a partner who would always know exactly how he felt without him having to say a word, who would always be affectionate, and who would never disagree with him. At first, his relationship seemed perfect, but as time passed, he started noticing small flaws in his partner. Moments of forgetfulness, occasional misunderstandings, and personal struggles that made her unable to meet his every expectation. Instead of appreciating her for who she was, Daniel felt disillusioned. His frustration grew and he began to doubt the relationship. Instead of seeking perfection, a healthier approach is to appreciate the real person behind the expectations, someone with strengths, weaknesses, and a capacity for growth. True connection is not built on fantasies, but on the ability to love someone despite their flaws. Stoic philosophy teaches us to detach from illusions and accept reality as it is. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we must not expect others to be perfect, but instead learn to work with their nature. Just as we wish to be accepted with our imperfections, we must also extend that grace to those we love. Love should be based on patience, understanding, and mutual respect, not on a fantasy of what we wish the other person to be. This mindset shift is not about lowering our standards, but about embracing a love that is real rather than one that is fragile and dependent on perfection. When we idealize love, we set ourselves up for disappointment. But when we accept love as a journey, one filled with both joys and challenges, we create the foundation for something enduring. Love is patient and kind, not built on unrealistic demands. True love flourishes when we replace idealization with compassion and understanding. By letting go of idealized love, we open the door to genuine connection, one that acknowledges imperfections and embraces growth. When we stop searching for perfection and accept our partners as they truly are, love becomes more authentic, resilient, and fulfilling. The key to lasting happiness in relationships is not to find an ideal partner, but to cultivate a love that is grounded in reality, acceptance, and mutual development. By doing so, we free ourselves from the burden of unrealistic expectations and discover the profound beauty of loving someone completely, flaws and all. Number 5, love should be mutual. The power of reciprocity. Have you ever felt like you were the only one making an effort in a relationship? Love at its core should be a mutual exchange, not a one-sided pursuit. True love flourishes when both individuals contribute equally, fostering a bond built on respect, appreciation, and shared effort. When love is not mutual, it drains one person while allowing the other to take without giving in return. Reciprocity in love means giving and receiving in a balanced way. When one person constantly gives while the other only takes, the relationship becomes exhausting and unfulfilling. Imagine someone who always prioritizes their partner's needs while neglecting their own. Over time, this imbalance leads to frustration and emotional depletion. However, when both partners support and uplift each other, love becomes a source of strength rather than a burden. Consider the story of Emma and James. Emma continuously went out of her way to make James happy, often sacrificing her own happiness in the process. She planned thoughtful surprises, listened to his problems, and always put his needs above her own. James, however, rarely acknowledged her efforts or reciprocated her kindness. He took her presence for granted, assuming she would always be there regardless of how he treated her. As time passed, Emma started feeling unappreciated and emotionally drained. She realized that love should not be about proving one's worth, but about mutual care and respect. After a moment of deep reflection, she decided to set healthy boundaries and focus on relationships where her love was valued and returned. This shift empowered her to seek connections based on true reciprocity rather than one-sided devotion. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we cannot control how others feel or act, but we can control our own choices. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of self-respect, teaching that love should never come at the expense of our dignity. A relationship grounded in reciprocity aligns with this wisdom, as it ensures both individuals feel valued and respected. Similarly, the Bible teaches that love is patient and kind, not selfish or demanding. When love is mutual, it becomes a partnership where both individuals grow together, supporting and strengthening one another. It is a relationship built on shared values, where each person contributes to the well-being of the other, rather than expecting one person to carry the entire weight of the relationship. Many people stay in one-sided relationships because they fear being alone or believe that their love will eventually change the other person. However, real love does not require endless sacrifice. It thrives when both partners actively contribute to the relationship. By recognizing the importance of mutual effort, we empower ourselves to build healthier relationships. Setting boundaries, communicating openly, and choosing to be with people who appreciate and reciprocate our love allows us to experience deeper emotional fulfillment. Love should be an equal exchange, one where both partners give and receive in harmony. By embracing reciprocity, we create healthier, more fulfilling relationships that stand the test of time. True love is not about chasing or proving. It is about mutual respect, shared effort, and a deep understanding of one another. When both partners are equally invested, love becomes a beautiful journey of growth, support, and lasting connection. Letting go of relationships that drain us and choosing those that nourish us is one of the greatest acts of self-love. When we value ourselves enough to seek balanced, reciprocal love, we open the door to relationships that are truly meaningful and enduring. Number 6, choosing the right partner, a decision beyond feelings. Have you ever wondered why some relationships flourish while others fall apart? Choosing the right partner is not just about emotions. It requires wisdom, patience, and a deep understanding of values. While feelings are important, a lasting relationship is built on more than just passion. It requires compatibility, mutual respect, and shared principles. A wise choice in love goes beyond fleeting attraction. When we rely solely on emotions, we risk making impulsive decisions that may not lead to long-term happiness. Imagine someone who falls deeply in love at first sight, only to later realize that their partner's values and priorities do not align with their own. This mismatch can lead to conflict, disappointment, and heartbreak. Love should not be based purely on excitement, but on a deeper understanding of a person's character. Before committing to a lifelong partner, it is essential to observe how they respond to challenges, how they treat those around them, and whether they have the ability to grow and adapt over time. A relationship built on superficial attraction will likely crumble under pressure, while one founded on mutual values and shared goals will stand strong. Consider the story of Daniel and Ruth. Daniel was initially drawn to Ruth's charm and beauty, but instead of rushing into a commitment, he chose to observe how she handled challenges, treated others, and approached life. Over time, he saw that she was kind, patient, and deeply committed to personal growth, qualities that aligned with his vision of a strong, lasting relationship. Because Daniel prioritized wisdom over mere emotions, he was able to build a partnership rooted in trust and mutual understanding. Their love grew naturally, not out of infatuation, but from a place of respect, companionship, and a shared vision for the future. Stoic philosophy teaches us that love should be guided by reason. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that true happiness comes from inner peace and aligning our choices with virtue. If we let emotions dictate our decisions, we may find ourselves trapped in relationships that do not serve our well-being. Instead, we must evaluate a potential partner's character, values, and emotional maturity before making a commitment. Similarly, biblical teachings remind us that love is patient and kind, not merely driven by passion. A relationship grounded in faith, respect, and shared values has a greater chance of standing the test of time. Proverbs 3:5-6 advises, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Seeking divine wisdom in choosing a partner can help guide us toward a love that is fulfilling and enduring. One of the strongest foundations of a lasting relationship is shared values. A couple that agrees on core beliefs, such as the importance of family, faith, career aspirations, and personal integrity, will find it easier to navigate challenges together. Differences in these areas may lead to resentment, constant disagreements, or an inability to compromise. Additionally, compatibility extends beyond interests and hobbies. While enjoying the same activities can bring two people closer, it is their alignment in life's deeper aspects that truly matters. A successful relationship requires both partners to be willing to grow together, support each other's ambitions, and respect each other's boundaries. Choosing the right partner is not just about feelings. It is about making a deliberate, thoughtful decision that aligns with your values and life goals. Love should not be rushed but cultivated with care, ensuring that both individuals support and uplift each other. A strong and meaningful relationship is built on trust, shared purpose, and a commitment to growing together. True love is not about losing oneself in passion, but about finding someone whose presence enriches your life. By balancing emotions with wisdom and patience, we create relationships that are not only loving but also enduring, fulfilling, and deeply rewarding. Number 7, emotional strength in relationships. Love without dependence. One of the key principles of a healthy relationship is emotional strength, which allows love to thrive without unhealthy dependence. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true love is built on mutual respect, self-sufficiency, and inner stability, rather than excessive reliance on a partner for happiness. When both individuals in a relationship cultivate emotional resilience, they create a space where love can grow organically, free from desperation, insecurity, or control. Love should never become a crutch for emotional well-being. While it is natural to seek comfort and support from a partner, an excessive reliance on them for validation, security, or happiness can lead to imbalance. Imagine a couple, Anna and James. At the beginning of their relationship, Anna depended heavily on James for emotional support, constantly seeking reassurance and validation. Over time, this dependence placed pressure on their relationship, making James feel overwhelmed and Anna increasingly insecure. Realizing this imbalance, Anna decided to embrace the Stoic approach, focusing on personal growth, emotional independence, and self-worth. She practiced self-reflection, developed confidence in her own abilities, and learned to find fulfillment outside the relationship. As she grew stronger emotionally, her relationship with James improved, becoming more balanced, fulfilling, and harmonious. A strong relationship is not about losing oneself in another person, but about two whole individuals coming together and complementing each other. When both partners maintain their emotional well-being, they bring their best selves into the relationship. This creates an environment where love flourishes naturally, without fear, desperation, or the burden of unmet expectations. Stoic thinkers like Epictetus taught that we should never place our happiness in the hands of another, as this makes us vulnerable to disappointment. Instead, we should cultivate inner strength so that love becomes a choice, not a necessity. Similarly, the Bible teaches that love is patient and kind, not controlling or possessive. 1 Corinthians 13, 4-5. This reinforces the idea that a lasting relationship is based on trust, respect, and individual growth. To foster emotional independence in a relationship, consider these key principles. 1. Self-awareness. Understand your emotions, needs, and triggers. Recognizing your own patterns of dependence allows you to make conscious changes. 2. Personal fulfillment. Pursue passions, hobbies, and friendships outside of the relationship. A well-rounded life ensures that love enhances rather than defines you. 3. Emotional regulation. Learn to manage stress, disappointment, and anxiety on your own, instead of relying solely on your partner for comfort. 4. Healthy communication. Express your needs without making your partner responsible for your emotional state. Mutual understanding fosters a stronger bond. 5. Mutual growth. Support each other's individual journeys while building a shared vision for the future. True love encourages independence, not restriction. By developing emotional resilience and self-reliance, we allow love to exist freely, without coercion or fear of loss. A strong relationship is not about completing each other, but about two whole individuals growing together. True love is not about dependence. It is about strength, freedom, and mutual support. Have you ever faced challenges in love and overcome them? Share your stories and experiences in the comments below. Love, like all things of true value, should never be begged for. When we embrace self-worth and inner peace, the right people will naturally be drawn to us. The Stoics remind us that forcing love only leads to disappointment, while detachment and self-respect create an aura of attraction that cannot be ignored. If something is meant for you, it will come effortlessly, without pleading, without struggle. The real power lies in focusing on yourself, becoming whole, and allowing the right connections to find you. So, what do you think? Have you ever experienced a moment where letting go brought you something even better? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if this message resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful Stoic insights. Remember, the moment you stop chasing is the moment you start attracting. Stay true to yourself, live with wisdom, and let everything fall into place naturally. See you in the next video.